everyone, welcome to Litrophile. Today we're going to take a look at a specific category of poetry which is called confessional poetry. All right, confessional poetry. Now, confessional poetry is actually subjective poetry. It focuses on the personal or the private life of the poet. So it is extremely focused on the personal or the private life of the poet. For definition's sake, we could say that confessional poetry is a type of narrative or a lyric verse which details and goes into revelations of the private and clinical matters of the poet. Now, these could include sexual escapades, mental anguish, any kind of illness, experiments that the individual has indulged in with drugs, or even suicidal impulses. So, it could be any kind of self revelation. So, you could say that confessional poetry is highly self revelatory. So it could be any kind of self revelation where you find a very detailed and analytical exposition of their intense and intimate feelings like pain, anxiety, grief, tension, joy, etc. Now, you could say that confessional poetry was written in a as a sharp rebellion to the concept of impersonality propounded by the new critics and more specifically T.S. Eliot. Now, what does T.S. Eliot have to say about impersonality? He says, poetry is not the revelation or it is not the exposition of a poet's personality or poet's emotions, but it ought to be the escape from a poet's emotions as well as personality. So it's not an exposition of, but an escape from emotions or personality of the poet. So he is trying to focus on the need for objectivity in a work of art. So it could be this idea of subjective poetry or self-revelatory poetry could be a stark reaction against the demand for objectivity in poetry by the new critics as well as T.S. Eliot. Now, you could say that this kind of this tendency in poetry was seen and it was popular among certain writers in the UK and the US. UK and the US around 1950s and 1960s. So it is between 1950s and 1960s that you find this kind of a trend gaining popularity among some certain writers of UK and US. Now, if you look at one very good example of confessional poetry, I would say it is the work Life Studies. Life Studies by the author Robert Lowell. All right, you could see this specific work, Life Studies by Robert Lowell, as the work that actually gave a strong impetus to this term confessional poetry. And this work was published in the year 1959. All right, so published in 1959, the work Life Studies by Robert Lowell gave a strong impetus to this idea and concept of confessional poetry. Now, if you look at certain other practitioners of confessional poetry, I would say they include authors like W.D. Snodgrass. All right, W.D. Snodgrass and his publication or his work called Heart's Needle. Heart's Needle can also be seen as a classic example of confessional poetry. And another example would be, or another major practitioner of confessional poetry would be Anne Sexton. Anne Sexton has come up with 4 volumes called To Bedlam and Part Way Back, All My Pretty Ones, Live or Die, and Love Poems. So these are the 4 volumes that Anne Sexton has come up with. And all these works are can be seen as classic examples or classic examples of confessional poetry. So a look at these 4 works or the 4 volumes. The first one is To Bedlam and Part Way Back. To Bedlam and Part Way Back. The second volume is All My Pretty Ones. All My Pretty Ones. All right. The third volume is called Live or Die. Live or Die is the third volume, and the fourth volume is Love Poems. Love Poems. So these are the 4 volumes of confessional poetry written by Anne Sexton. Now, another major and much familiar author who has practiced this art of confessional poetry would be none other than Sylvia Plath. We know a very famous poem by Sylvia Plath, which is Daddy, in which she has exceptionally portrayed the extent of confessionalism or confessional poetry that is possible within the genre. So Sylvia Plath and her work Daddy is seen as a classic example of confessional poetry. Now, for a more familiar example or a more familiar practitioner, I would say is Kamala Das. All right, Kamala Das. And you see that in most of her poems, she is known as an autobiographical poet, and she's also known as a very strong confessional poet as well. So there is this poem called Summer in Calcutta written by her, okay, and in this particular work you find her candidly writing about her first sexual encounter with man. So it can be seen as a very good example of confessional literature. So Kamala Das's Summer in Calcutta is seen as a classic example, and there are also other works like The Testing of Sirens, then there is My Grandfather's House, and also The Descendants, and again there's another work called The Looking Glass. Now all these poems can be seen as classic examples of confessional poetry. All right, so for a quick recap, we were talking about confessional poetry today, and confessional poetry stresses upon the subjective explanation or subjective detailing of the personal or private life of a poet. So in a simple word, you could say that confessional poetry is self-revelatory literature, and it was written as a sharp rebellion against the notion of impersonality or objectivity that was projected on literature by the new critics and specifically T.S. Eliot. And coming back to confessional poetry, its practitioners you see in and around UK and US during the 1950s and the 1960s. And this specific phrase has received a great impetus because of the publication of Life Studies in 1959 by the author Robert Lowell. Now, other major practitioners of confessional poetry would be W.D. Snodgrass, Anne Sexton, Sylvia Plath, and for a familiar practitioner, we would have Kamala Das. All right, so that's all for today. We'll get back to you all in another video with more inputs on literature. Thank you.